So Rory, here at Surrey's Media Days. Firstly, how's your winter been? How are you heading into the new season?
Yeah, a little bit of a quiet winter for me. I've been here, so yeah, just working hard here in at the Oval. A few of us lads have been here the whole time, probably 7 or 8 of us. Obviously, there's a lot of franchise cricket where the boys have been going around the world and those sort of things, and yeah, a bit of daddy daycare for me.
Third championship in a row you're aiming for. How much motivation is that for you to try and achieve that, I guess?
Yeah, obviously, I know that's the outcome that everyone wants. All teams in our division want come the end of the year. There's a lot of hard work that goes between now and then to try and get that over the line. We've obviously begun that process. Back in November, the few of us that were here and those sort of things, and moving that on to now getting all the lads back together and talking about that. So we're excited.
And the big news that came out of the club last week, Alec Stewart going to step down at the end of the calendar year. Just how big an impact has he had on you as a cricketer?
Yeah, massive. I mean, the Stewart family's had a pretty big impact on my cricketing career. His brother Neil, I suppose, one of his disciples from about 6. So yeah, they've had a big influence. It will certainly be a very different place with the gaffer not being here. Coming to the end of 11 or 12 years. Yeah, it's a fairly decent stint, and it's hard to remember what came before him almost. So yeah, we'll be looking to send him out the best we can, and yeah, it's a bit of an emotional driver for us.
And you've brought in Dan Lawrence over the winter. How much does that help the squad sort of keep on their toes a bit and not get complacent? You've won a couple of championships now, and every year you added Dom last year, you added Dan this year. Just keep that lack of complacency, I guess, keep you on your toes.
Yeah, obviously, Dan's a very fine player. I've been able to see him up close. I've done a few tours with him and those sort of things, and yeah, to add him into our ranks is brilliant. Obviously adds with ball as well as bat. So yeah, he's excited to get going. It's really good for us, and yeah, we're looking forward to it.
And to talk about some of your players that you've got Ollie Pope available for the start of the season now. He had that incredible innings in Hyderabad and then sort of struggled really for that series. But how much has he grown as a cricketer over the last year or so as a teammate, seeing him?
I think, Popey came in, I think, when did he make his debut? He probably made it 18, I think, in a... Was it? I think he made it in a... I think his one-day debut, he made it in a semi-final of the one-day cup.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, for us. And, seeing him come in from there, you also saw a cricketer there that was so hungry to learn, get better. That's still Popey now. So he's still not the finished article. There's still work in progress there, but his leadership in terms of his things that he does off the field, how he goes about his cricket on it, he's a pretty impressive character to be around. So it's no surprise seeing his success in the winter. And
he's obviously England vice-captain now, so there could be a time in the next year where Ben doesn't play a test and therefore Ollie will be England captain. What have you seen in him as a person and as a leader that makes you so confident that he can be good at
I think he's got a great feel for the game. He's always coming up to me for us with opinions, what he's seeing. He's a good set of eyes and ears. In the dressing room, he's incredibly well respected. He's someone that you'll follow just because of how he goes about his cricket and how he works off it. And yeah, I think just naturally it's something that suits him. He's decisive. He's happy by living and dying by those decisions, which is part and parcel of being a captain. And yeah, I think he's made for it.
And you've got 7 county games. I was just looking at the schedule. I think you've got a last county game is on the 3rd of July, and then you've got 3 weeks off before the one-day cup starts. I remember you saying in 2022 that you went on a summer holiday, and that sort of can't happen in the cricket season. Where do you stand on the scheduling of the county game this year, and is it better to have a couple more games in June and July, albeit you've got that 3-week break still?
It's a bit of a constant debate, isn't it, the scheduling. One thing I would say is I think as cricketers in this country, I think we play the right amount. I would just probably question the cricket that we are playing. For those that play in, I think the 50 over tournament, it does feel a little bit like an afterthought. Could there be a reserve competition of the 100 where it's probably easier to pick guys that then need to become replacements in the 100 and that sort of thing alongside it? I don't know, that's a suggestion maybe. But yeah, I like the amount of championship cricket we play. I think it really reflects it as a league. It gives it the sort of quality that it is as a league. I think the blast is important, obviously, for the counties and the finances of the game. And the 100 is obviously brilliant, and the uptake it's having. So, yeah, it's a difficult question. There's a lot of moving parts, and I don't think there's any sort of right or wrong answer at the minute.
Is that difficult on you? You said it's the 50 over game's a bit of an afterthought. You played a few 50 over games last year. Is it difficult to motivate yourself, I guess, to get up for that when you've got the intensity and the quality of the championship, to go from that to then the One Day Cup, which, as you said, feels a bit like an afterthought?
It's probably challenging, but that's part and part of being a professional. And also, I think probably the other challenge, and for a place like us, I think we probably see 11 or 12 of our lads go to the 100. That obviously leaves us pretty threadbare as a squad to try and work around. So it's difficult from that respect, but it obviously gives opportunity to guys to put their names in the shop window.
And just how challenging, going back to the championship this year, will it be for you to try and attack it and go again, given the amount of quality in the league? You see Durham come up and what they've done under Ryan Campbell. You've got Lancashire, Essex, Hampshire, who are constant challengers, I guess. Is this probably the healthiest the Champo's been in quite a while?
Yeah, I mean, it looks a very strong division, doesn't it? And like you say, some of those sides on paper are very good teams. It's very competitive. It's always competitive. You don't really get a down week in the championship, and that's why it's probably so nice when you win it at the end of the year, when you can be in that position and say, yeah, we're actually top of the tree because of how hard the work is that you've put in to get there. So, yeah, it'd be very rewarding if we manage to do it again. The hard work starts now. And
just a couple on you. How do you reflect on your season in 2023? It obviously didn't go the way you wanted in terms of runs scored, but even more hungry, I guess, to come back in 2024?
Yeah, that's it. For me, it was an underperforming season, probably by the previous many before that. So, I want to contribute to wins from a personal standpoint. What I was really happy with and pleased by was my leadership through that. It didn't really affect my captaincy and those sort of things, which is generally one of the hardest things to do if you're not performing exactly how you want to. I'm hungry. Hopefully I can score a shed load of runs and captain really well again.
And what's your sort of ambition heading into the new year? Because you're 33 now, you last played for England 2 years ago, so a lot of people would say the drive is to get back into the England side, but I guess doing well for Surrey, what is your ambition?
I think performing really well for Surrey. I think first and foremost, if you take care of your home and you produce performances here, then all of a sudden people recognise you. That's how I did it the first time round, to obviously get that opportunity. You can never rule anything out. 33 is actually not that old these days. I'm still hungry. There's hopefully a championship to try and go out and try and win again, which is exciting. As a group, we want to win the 2020 as well. We want to win everything that we play in. So, there's a lot of drive, both personally and for this team, to keep producing results.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.